across the garden in the footsteps of my shadow. See the lights out, no one's home.
When I went on stage tonight, when we had the technical problems, and I went on stage and played on my own with an acoustic guitar, the rest of the group were saying, "Go on, go on, go on." Because I was joking. I said I can go on, I can like, and they encouraged me to, because they thought it would be the kind of thing that they would like to see. It made me realise how much I enjoy being in The Cure. If I had to do that, I would never get on stage ever. If I had, like, I mean, it was really nice to be able to play in front of people for a few minutes with an acoustic guitar, but it's so uncomfortable, and that's my answer being that, like, that audience loves what The Cure does. It loves what I do in The Cure. It loves the idea of me being the singer in The Cure. It doesn't love me being, you know, it really doesn't. If it does, it shouldn't, because it's the last song we played in the set, End, was a song that I wrote in 1992, it's like 20 years ago, which is entirely about that idea of like thinking that you know who I am, and like it's not you know, no one should ever fall in love with a performer. I don't think. You can fall in love with a band, and fall in love with music, but never fall for the trick of a performer. It's junk.
I thought you were going to sing the solo from Glorious Man.
I kind of am, but I think it's at the heart of a much deeper problem. It's not really the right forum for this, but I've had that legend on my guitar, various guitars, for about the last 10 years. I usually handwrite it, but I had a guitar made for me to play this summer that actually had it emblazoned so that I could sell. I was going to sell 10 to charity, for charities that are Republican charities. I've also realised that when I say Republican, because this gets broadcast on the web, by Republican I mean like anti-monarchist. I don't mean Republican as in Democrat. I fucking hate the Republican Party in America. I mean Republican in the sense that I object really, really strongly since I was a very young man to being in a country that has a monarchy. I find it astonishing that our country, like England or Great Britain, is held up as an idea of a modern democracy, and we still have this fucking idiot William and Kate show. You know, it disheartens me so much that this has nothing to do with where we are. I mean, this is Spain, but in some ways it's kind of similar, because you have a king and stuff. It's like, it's fucking mental. Like, why? You know, when we were flying over today, there's like I was looking through the gap between the seats, and there's like the in-house flight magazine had William and Kate like grinning back at me. I thought, like, they've done fucking nothing. It's like, it's absurd. Like, my country is obsessed with celebrities, which is bad enough. I mean, it's driven me mental. Like, my adult life has been kind of like fighting. I still feel the same as when I was like 15 years old. But why punk happened? You think, like, it's just shit. You know, like the Silver Jubilee was, we played in a field, you know, and it was like they wouldn't allow God Save the Queen to be played in Radio 1. It was like, we thought, something's going to happen. And you think, like, 25 years later, you have the same shit going on. It's quite disheartening, actually, because you realise how corrupt and endlessly just futile, you know. It allows someone who has a kind of nihilistic tendency, someone who has a fatalistic tendency, to fall back into like, oh well, it doesn't really matter, I've got no children, I don't really care. But there's a part of me that really does get angry about how things are, the disparity between someone's job and what they're paid. I mean, I've asked us, my greater family do jobs like ambulance man and policeman, and they do social jobs, and they're paid nothing. And it really upsets me to see the way that celebrities, including me, get paid so much, but not including me because I do something that people want. It's like it's the. This isn't the right call because I'm going to bang on in a second. Essentially, a monarchist system allows people to believe that there are people who are better than you for no good reason, and that's why it's absurd. It's like I was asked a few weeks ago, like why we weren't involved in the Jubilee celebrations, or why we're not involved in the Olympics, why we're not, as an English band, we're not kind of like, as an old English band, we're not part of all the big celebrations. It's like I would fucking stuff it up their arse if they said it, and yet most people say, oh, I don't, you know, and then they become Lord Prescott, or they all give in. They have such low, you know, it's like, how can you be bought for so little? Trust me, it really does. There's no one better than anybody else unless they do something that you think is really good. Then reward them. If someone's going to save my life, I will reward them. If someone's going to like play music that I love, I will reward them by buying something. If someone's going to like give me an honour, they can stick it up their fucking arse. They have no right to give me an honour, or anybody else. That's why it says citizens, not subjects. But the whole of Europe is like, it's got so much worse in my life. When I go, I don't know. I think most of it is just it's the same as it ever was. It's the same as when we first started. Like I just said, I feel the same desire to present my imaginary 15-year-old self that's in the audience with the same just alternative, really. That's at the heart of what I do. It's like the reason why I went out and played that was not because I thought it's my moment. I was thinking that like the audience is getting really fractious and like there's nothing going on. They don't know. And if I was in the audience, I'd think like, what the fuck is going on? So rather than like someone explain it's a technical problem, I thought, well, so I said, can I just go out and play some songs? And it's like, yeah, it's okay. There's no great motive to it, but the point, I suppose, is that I would hope that I would have wanted to do that when I was young, and I would hope that I keep wanting to do that. I keep imagining that the people that are there to see us are the reason why we're there. Well, I could stay at home today and I could have done that at home, you know. The reason is that you want to engage the people that are there. That it's I don't know what drives me, like moving on from that, why I continue to do it. It really is. It is actually the most difficult question, because I have no idea. When I was young, I had an idea of kind of like dreaming myself into a world where I could do what I wanted. You know, I could play music to people. I could go around the world, and I could, you know, it's like a dream that like lots of people have. And when you're doing it, it's really hard to not just continue to do it because that's what you do, and that's why we do it less and less as I grow older. I still want it to be like the most special thing, you know, but it happens less and less, because if we did this all the time, it would just be a job. You know, we'd be much better at it. Maybe I would be much better at it, but I just want to have the same. It's a selfish thing. I want to have the same feelings about it as I did when I was young. I don't want this young voice in my head say, "You're fucking it up." It's that. When I was, no, I come from a, like I was saying about the Queen's Jubilee and stuff. I come from a punk background. It's hard to believe, but it was always there that I never want to let that down, even though most people who are part of that have let it down. They didn't really mean what they said, but I think we did. You know, I wanted to create an alternative. I really did want to create an alternative. I still think that we do, just musically and like in the way that we do things, the way we present ourselves. This isn't a good example of me presenting an alternative, but I'm fucking tired and a bit pissed as well. You would never guess, would you? It's a joy of playing music with people that I like. Is actually, as I've grown older, is at the heart of it. I just love, you know, I can't imagine, you know, I'm at home and I have a really good life at home, but I love performing on stage with people that I like, playing music that I like, and singing. In fact, the key is singing. I fucking love singing. But I sing at home to no one. Much better, actually. I'm much better at home in front of them.